I think my technique is pretty idiosyncratic. I don't think people practice to play the way I play. That's not going to get you a good grade. However, I did go through certain stages of looking at the position of my hand, and the angle of the knuckle, and you know what I mean, and just really that kind of thing. And again, thinking, if it could be anyway, how would I like it to be? And what seems to be the most efficient way of, balance and flexibility and strength, and counterbalancing all of these kinds of things, and figuring out, first of all, what it is I need to be able to do, and what seems to be the most efficient way of doing it. And then, once I've learned what the most efficient way is, well, then let's try some other inefficient ways. And what's different about the inefficient ways? And what's the trade-off there, if you have, a big wind-up, as opposed to just let it be, a good piano just picks up, it seems like every shrug of the shoulder, every change in weight distribution. What's interesting is then when I play on a good electronic instrument, even though it's not as responsive, there's a certain mind over matter thing that comes in. And even with real pianos, it's not just the responsiveness of the instrument. There's mind over matter stuff on real pianos, I think, to a very great extent. I mean, if you know what goes on mechanically in a piano, there's things that happen as you play a piano that shouldn't happen. I don't really buy into the whole thing of quieter and playing quieter and with fewer notes is more inherently virtuous or anything like that. I think the right thing, this was something Ornette used to talk about, the best thing is just the right amount of notes. It's not, too few is just as bad as too many. And of course, a lot of my favorite sparse players, like Miles Davis and Thelonious Monk, quite often had a very notey foil that they played with. And so what I really liked was that kind of yes to both. Playing both against the middle, working with that contrast. I think it's a safe bet to say that things are a lot more interrelated and closer together than they're usually given credit for in this universe. And then we can expand on it from there and get more particular from there. A lot of times, too, in some sort of comparative study like that, the act of being able to keep an internal dialogue going in your head, rather than just saying, all right, here's where I'm coming from and I'm hanging on to it, but to just be able to stand back and be non-judgmental, and also to not cast the two voices as an angel and a devil, but just as two sort of just neutral participants, In music, as in other things in life, a lot of the good stuff is in the cracks, That's where they hide the good stuff that they don't want you to find. And people have given me trouble sometimes about my music being so in the middle. Well, it's not really inside, it's not really outside and all this. And it's like, wow, the good stuff is in the middle. That's where they hide it. Not just something that's modified to be a little eccentric just for the effect. You know what I mean? It's not like regular stuff, but it's a strange color, or it has a strange spice flavoring it, or whatever it is. It's not that type of thing, but it's like where you actually get into the genetic engineering, and you get into the DNA and really modify it, like the fish on The Simpsons with the 3 eyes. That's what you end up, that's the danger, is, sometimes you end up with something that's just, never seen before, a new bloom of rose that looks prettier and smells sweeter than all the others, or you end up with one of the three-eyed fish. But that's where the actual stuff is. That's where the control is, you know? And it's not about this thing of, well, I don't know, do you like roses or not? Do you like fish or not? And that's the way a lot of people approach it. And it's like, no, that's not the question, you know? The fish and the rose are both like blank slates.